I got the nickname Lil Jim from Chris Hall of Cajun and the Zydeco brothers. And I was much younger and much shorter at the time. Me and Chris were playing in a Zydeco band at the time. And and it was also kind of a nod to some of the Zydeco guys in Louisiana. Some of them put Lil in front of their name. So it was kind of a bit of a nod to that, really. As well as describing my stature. And I don't think anyone at the time realised that I'd turn into a 6'5" giant. Jeans. I am a 34 leg, and also a 34 waist as well. And yeah, it's quite difficult to find jeans 34, especially when you're on tour in the middle of nowhere, and the rips in your jeans are getting bigger to the point that it's more hole than material. But 34 leg. There you go. I've had quite a few accordions in my time. I believe I started with a Hohner 114 in the key of G, which was lent to me by Chris Hall. Then I went through a few more Hohner models. Then I upgraded to a Chinese parrot accordion. But then when I was about 15 or 16, I got my most prized possession, which was a Martin accordion all the way from Louisiana. And I do have to stress that it was my dad who bought me this, but I'm very glad that he did. It's been on hundreds, if not thousands, of gigs with me. It's been repaired a few times, but it still sounds great. So I would have to say this one. This is actually a very hard question to answer, because during my secondary school years, I was a lot more interested in playing accordion. So a favourite subject is a difficult one, but I would have to say probably ICT, working with computers and such like. And when I wasn't doing that, I was up on the playing fields with my accordion during school hours. For main inspirations, I'd have to say Cajun and the Zydeco brothers. In the same kind of vein, Steve Riley and the Mamou Playboys, who are a Cajun band from Louisiana. And I would also say Marilyn Manson and probably Ozzy Osbourne too. Jimi Hendrix as well. Yeah. Yes, I do all of my own bookings, whether it's in the UK or in Europe. I've been touring in Europe for many years now, and I've made lots of friends and contacts over there. So when I decided to do my first solo European tour, I knew of a few places, but yeah, I had some help, which was greatly appreciated, and it turned into just a phenomenal 4 weeks in Europe. Yeah, I can't wait to do it again. My girlfriend at the time had a message off one of her friends that needed a couple of guinea pigs rehoming, and we decided that we would take them on. And they were only little babies at the time. Our first two were called Bumble and Streak. And of course, as they started growing up and getting bigger, we looked into adopting and rescuing more guinea pigs, and I think we ended up with about 13 at one point. But I love guinea pigs. They really are amazing creatures, really fantastic creatures. So yeah, that's why. This is a good question. I like this question. My ultimate goal has always been the same, and that is quite simply to be able to make a living. There's lots of musicians that struggle, and yeah, I'd as long as I've got a roof over my head, that's pretty much the main thing for me. Of course, I want people to enjoy my music, but I think there's a good lot of you out there that do, which is I'm always thankful for that. But yeah, just simply to be able to make a living. That's always been the goal. Tuning an accordion is a black art, let me tell you. It's yeah, I know little bits, but I probably don't trust myself enough to be let loose inside an accordion. I give my accordions to Chris Hall, who tunes them and repairs them, and does a great job. So at the moment, I've no need to tune my own accordions. It would probably make life easier when I'm on tour and I have a reed blowout. I could just kind of get in, change the reed, tune it up, job's a good one, on with the show. But that's what gaffer tape is for. Blow out a reed, gaff it up, job done. Give it to Chris when I get home. Yes, there are lots of different types of accordion. I think the most well-known it would be the piano accordion, with the piano keyboard, but I specialise in the button melodeon, and what I play is a 10-button diatonic box. I also have my big 3-row that I take out on the solo gigs, but the way that the button box differs to the piano accordion, the main difference is that on a button box, you get 2 notes on the pull and the push on one button, whereas on the piano accordion, it's only 1 note per piano key. So there's a lot more pushing and pulling with a button box as opposed to the piano accordion. I would say our Cajun and Zydeco brothers, definitely. Until a much later age, I thought that Cajun and Zydeco was completely normal, and that every child listened to it. But yeah, I mean, I think for me it was my life has definitely developed differently for having listened to Cajun and Zydeco music and playing it as well. It's taken me to lots of places that I probably never would have seen before. But yeah, I would say our Cajun and the Zydeco brothers definitely for inspiring me to play the music. I would have to say mozzarella. It's great in a stuffed crust pizza. It's also great as a mozzarella stick. Yeah, I'd have to say. I mean, I love cheese. I love all cheese. But I think, yeah, mozzarella. It's just a winner, isn't it? Interesting question, this. I think the thing that I get the most is when I say I play accordion to someone that doesn't know me and doesn't know what I do. They have in their head this image of a European guy on a street playing a piano accordion. Which, yeah, obviously when I start playing and they hear what I do, it's yeah, just completely different. So yeah, does it grate? Not for me personally. No, it's just fun to prove people wrong. I like to rock out on the accordion and you know, people don't know it's coming. So it's yeah, it's nice to kind of see that reaction and then talk to them at the end of a gig and kind of see what they thought about it. It's yeah, it's nice. Lockdown happened, but you know, I mean, I've saved a hell of a lot of money on on eyeliner and nail varnish, hair dye, and also razors. Yeah, saved a hell of a lot of money, but never fear, the makeup will be back someday. I would have to say my dad. My dad joined a band called our Cajun and the Zydeco Brothers back in the early 80s, I believe. And I was born towards the end of the 80s and kind of grew up with the band. So, yeah, I was listening to Cajun and Zydeco from day dot, really. And it was always our Cajun. So yeah, I would have to say my dad. Yeah, definitely. I think ever since my friend gave me a cassette tape of Marilyn Manson, and I believe I would have been around 13 years old, I think. When I received this cassette tape of Antichrist Superstar, and yeah, kind of looked into Marilyn Manson and saw the imagery and the fashion, and it just really appealed to me. So I think, yeah, Marilyn Manson is definitely kind of the reason that I kind of dress and look the way I do. But yeah, I kind of, you know, from Marilyn Manson just discovered other avenues of fashion, you know, kind of rock fashion. So yeah, Marilyn Manson, you've got a lot to answer for. Interesting question, this. I would say that I actually started playing harmonica before I could play accordion. But I always knew that accordion was what I wanted to play. I think I got my first one when I was about 6 years old, and kind of everything else just went out the window at that point. But yeah, accordion and harmonica combo. I would say it's definitely because those are my main two instruments. I like to turn my hand at a lot of things, as you can see, bass and guitar. I also play drums and fiddle, keys, lots of other things. But yeah, accordion and harmonica have always been my main two, so that's kind of where that came from, really. Good question. I would have to say, first and foremost, Cajun and Zydeco music, but also blues music as well. My dad is a huge Leadbelly fan, so I grew up with a lot of blues music when I was younger. But then in my teenage years, discovering Marilyn Manson was a big eye-opener, and so I think, yeah, kind of Cajun and Zydeco blues music and rock music, predominantly Marilyn Manson, and also Ozzy Osbourne. I would say, for me personally, being a vegetarian of over 20 years, a vegetarian pizza with a stuffed crust. I would say the main difference between Cajun and Zydeco is Cajun is more a folky style of music, whereas Zydeco is influenced more by blues and soul and funk, so it's a lot more rhythmical. It's also generally electric, and Cajun is acoustic generally. The main two instruments of Cajun is the accordion and the fiddle, whereas Zydeco has the accordion and the washboard, which is played on the chest. I would say those are the main two differences. Also, there's kind of an unwritten rule that Cajun is the music of the white man, and Zydeco is the music of the Creole man, and never the twain shall meet. So I'm not sure if you mean kind of how I started to play music, or whether you mean about the solo thing. But when I first began playing, I started by playing with our Cajun and Zydeco brothers and standing in with them on a few gigs, and that kind of led on to me and Chris Hall, who is the band leader, forming some Cajun and Zydeco bands. And from that, I kind of played with my own bands and outfits until I went solo. Yeah, the solo thing kind of happened by accident, really. I was writing material that I didn't have an outlet for, essentially. So, yeah, why not become a one-man band? So, yeah, I guess it was because I was writing the material and didn't have anywhere to let it out. So, yeah, Lil Jim, the one-man band solo show, was born. What a fantastic question. I am a pale beer man myself. Really like craft beers and Belgian beers as well. But I would say some of my favourites are Leffe Blonde, Thornbridge JAIPUR, Punk IPA, Life and Death by Vocation. I also like Devel Triple Hop. Yeah, but I can't wait to get over to Belgium and Holland again and try some proper beers. Proper good beers. Cropredy was just incredible. An amazing weekend. And it was a huge honour to be the opening act of Cropredy. I'd known about the festival for a long time, but I'd never applied to it, just because I thought it was kind of a bit too big, you know, a bit too big of a festival for me. But yeah, I just applied one year, and you know, with the thought that the worst they could say is no. But they said yes. So yeah, it was an amazing privilege, and to be sat in front of 25,000 people who all appreciate what you're doing was just a phenomenal feeling. Definitely, yeah.